Now we're off. Yes, that's right, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV, here with the Minicat 420, and I'm going to be rigging the rolling Gennaker. I'm going to fit the bow sprit extension. All of this off this fitting, slide him in, reattach it to these fittings, and then, so that's now on there, looking pretty fresh. Very sneaky way of doing this, but I think perfect. I've got a block for the top of the mast, and it's meant to have a shackle, but there isn't a shackle, so I'm just going to use this carabiner. It's not really what I'd be satisfied with, but just to get her on the water for today, it's not very windy, I'm going to use this. So then I can just thread the halyard through. So we've got this fine looking piece here, and the mast is actually fitted to take it, which is very convenient because the way that it's fitted means there's only one way that it will go on. I've got that on there, and what I've done is I've run the halyard down through the cleat that's going to hold the spinnaker up, and I don't know if this is an old Minicat trick, but I've gone under the front beam, and that'll make it easier to pull it up rather than trying to pull down. Always easier to pull up. So I'm going to do that. We'll see how that goes. Okay, and then the thing that makes it possible to have a furling spinnaker is that the spinnaker's got this bolt rope in the front, which means we can get plenty of tension into the luff of the sail, and it will roll around this. It needs a little bit of girth to roll around. You wouldn't be able to have a rolling spinnaker just with your regular spinnaker with a soft luff. All right, so we're going to clip the tack of the spinnaker with the furler, making sure that the furler is going to point the right way, and then just work away along the luff, making sure that she's not twisted, clipping the top onto the sail. All right, and I think we can now pull it up. That was very easy. All right, the furler goes down the starboard side of the mast, and I'm going to clip that to the same place where the jib furler is on the trampoline. Okay, so I'm now going to attach the sheets, and the way that I'm going to do this will just help it to slip around more easily when we're jibing, is we're going to do it using a lark's head. So I found the middle, got both of the ends going through there, pulling it through, and then taking those two ends through the loop, and then I'll just pull all that through, keeping it even as we do it. All right, and into the cleat. Mega. Just going to tie this with a reef knot. Take the sheets. This is going to go round the outside of everything, and then through the block. It's got a little cleat in there, which is nice. Most spinnaker blocks don't have cleats, so that's good that that will hold it in position. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just unroll the spinnaker again, make sure that that sheeting angle looks pretty good, and then we could get out onto the water. Unfurl it using the furler rather than the sheet. I just think I should prefer that. Yeah. All right, taking the sheet. Yes, I tied them together. Yeah, so I think that sheeting angle looks pretty good. It's a pretty even pull between the foot and the leech of the sail. But after I've sailed with it, it might become apparent that I want the sheets a bit further forwards, which will mean I'll just need to tie them on to where the shroud attachments are. But we'll work that out on the water. Okay, Usually we talk about hoisting the spinnaker, but on the roller, we're just going to talk about unrolling that bad boy. So we're going to turn the boat downwind first, just onto a regular catamaran sailor's broad reach. So I can see with this advanced wind indicator, straight across, 90 degrees. Okay, it's looking pretty straightforward. So I'm going to see if it will unroll just by pulling on the sheet. Yeah, not, oh, I'm sat on the other sheet and it's cleated. All right, okay, got to check these things. Okay, can we deploy? All right, she's certainly happier deploying with a little bit of assistance on the furler. All right, oh, okay, I see. And that is right up against the, yeah. Okay, now the spinnaker is out. I might actually furl the jib just so we can have a better look at it. There we go. All right, so what we're looking to do is we're looking to have it so that the front edge is just slightly curling. So I've got it sheeted in so that the clew's about level with the shroud. This is a very different type of spinnaker setting to what I'm used to. I'm not used to having the cleats, but with the cleats we can do that. We'll just set it there and we're going to steer to the spinnaker. So to see how far up I should go, I'm just going to push up slightly towards the wind, watching the front edge. And there we go, the front edge just started to flap. So then I'll just bring it back very slightly. Okay, and then that is what we're going to call the sweet spot for this level of sheeting. Okay, with the mainsail, I've got that fairly loose because of the apparent wind angle on the boat. And there it is, pretty straightforward. Okay, so we're going to go for a jibe. So I'm just taking that out of the cleat. I'm just going to turn fairly slowly through the jibe. The spinnaker's just flapping away to itself, fairly slow through the jibe first time. And we just have to make sure we're not sat on the sheet as we pull that bad boy through. With a bit more wind, that would have flown through rather than have to be pulled through. But there we go. Okay, and again, I'm going to let all of that out. To have the sheets mounted at the back, they're just ever so slightly short to be done this way round. So what we'd have to do is tie them off in the middle at the sail, so kind of like the other way. So they're tied onto the sail and then we don't have a knot in the middle of the boat. Okay, so it is time that we need to roll her up. So to do that nicely, it's a good idea just to take the boat a bit further downwind. If there was more wind, the further downwind you go, the better the roll is going to be. And then we can just roll that up. There we go, that is so easy, amazing. So I've just modified how I've rigged the blocks through these, the sheets through the blocks at the back, so that I can actually play the spinnaker rather than it cleating every time. All right, so here we are. If we get too much wind, we're a bit worried that we're going to bin it, then what we have to do is bear away. Just wait for this next gust. Oh, this is great actually. The spinnaker, once you've got a little bit of wind, it's not much wind, it's probably about 6 to 8 knots. The boat just comes alive in such a lot less wind than it would do without it. Certainly makes it a lot of fun. Yeah, so just with the sheets, the way I've put them through these blocks without using the cleats, what I would recommend is just changing the blocks for some with ratchets, because there is quite a lot of load, especially with the brand new rope, which brand new rope is always slippery. It's just how it is. Okay, here we go. So, bit of a gust there. We got some pace on. What we got? 7.5. Woo! If we wanted to take the edge off that gust, we would just bear away, turn it downwind, like this, and then it settles. You can sheet out a little bit as well. But we're trying to keep the spinnaker in the optimal spot, sheeting all of the time. So easing out, watching the front edge, bringing it back. There we go. Easing out, watching it flap, bringing it back. It's like half an armful to keep it in the sweet spot. Playing it probably once every 10 seconds to keep it in the right spot there. Woohoo! All right, yeah, this is wicked. Really buzzing along nicely. So older spinnaker sheet, ratchet blocks, and then this would be really, really good. New rope, no ratchet blocks, makes it, whew, got a bit of a wrap round the hand going on. All right, I'm gonna have to go home soon. All right, so here we go. We're tickling along at 7.3. So, bit of a gust there. If we want to get rid of that power, we'll just turn downwind like that. Just a little bit. You can see that power goes. You can ease a little bit of spinnaker while you do it. Okay, and I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up there, literally wrap it up. So, to put the spinnaker away, just gonna turn downwind a bit, start hauling on the furling line. Yeah, I've abandoned the tiller extension for a second. Spinnaker sheet is jammed. Okay, it gets jammed between the hull and the sidebar. All right. So now, shift into upwind mode. Hand on the main sheet. So single handing with the spinnaker, you'll have seen that I didn't have a hand on the main sheet because all of our power control is done using the steering, not the main sheet. We're just setting the mainsail for the telltales and then steering for the power, coming up for more, bearing away for less. Okay, one little word of warning when using the spinnaker is it's going to take you even longer to get back upwind. If you go downwind first with your spinnaker up, just bear in mind it's probably going to take you more than twice as long to get back to where you came from. Top tip there.